Here at the Saturn Awards, we are honoring William Shatner. Tell me a little bit of what he means to Star Trek. Really, I know that's a really broad question, but for you,
well, so William Shatner is part of the reason the Saturn Awards probably even exist. The Academy of Science Fiction, Horror, and and Fantasy. I think it exists because Star Trek, the original series, when it came on, it kind of changed everything. There had been sci-fi movies before, but that was television. Exploring outer space. Shatner was at the forefront of that. And so to celebrate him tonight, my first thought is it's about time, right? The man's in his 90s, and it's like, yes, we should have been doing this for him many years ago. I think we always have in our hearts anyway. But he was my first captain. We all have our captain that we were watching as a kid. And in the 1960s, I was 6 years old when that came on the air. So he was my first captain, and always will be. So to honor him tonight is an absolute treat.
Now, I grew up watching you in a variety of different roles, not necessarily as yourself. What is it that has allowed you to continue to play characters like that? What kind of patience do you have? What does it take to be an actor to be able to wear that many faces?
Well, you mentioned patience, and when I take on a character, whether it's human or creature, it all starts in the interior. You have to, what are my character's wants, needs, loves? Where does he fit in the story? What are his relationships? All that stuff has to be there. So for me, it's all, I'm just an actor no matter what I look like. If I'm a guy in a t-shirt and jeans or a four-legged monster with a tail. But the four-legged monster with a tail comes with an extra layer of work, right? You do have to be patient, yes. You do have to be in great shape. You have to be well-rested, well-watered, because you're going through physical torment like an athlete would during a day when you also have to be mentally and soulfully connected to a character. So it's a very, very labor-intensive role when you're under rubber bits.
Now, one of the shows that wrapped up this year, What We Do in the Shadows, the Baron. And tell me what that meant to you and what that last scene with everybody, and it was really great, really great.
Oh, thank you. I loved What We Do in the Shadows so much. I would have played the Baron until the day I died if they had kept it going. I would have been happy. That's one job where I looked forward to going to work every day because we would laugh all day and had the best writing and the funniest co-stars, and it was just a dream job. And to be a character, the Baron was so fantastico to play. I got to be as big as I wanted, and no one ever pulled me back. And I went through 4 looks on that show, some with prosthetics, some with this face and a wig. So ending up with this face and a wig was like, oh, thank you, writers. They gave me, so I could have aged with that happily. Gosh, how it ended, every series has to end at some point. So I knew it was coming at some point, but I don't know. I feel like the show jumped the shark from the very beginning. So anything preposterous would be like perfect. I don't know if you saw the 3 different endings that they did. They tossed in there. Mm-hmm. There were 3 separate little side endings that were like what ifs. And I was in the Rosemary's Baby ending, just as one of the people standing around going, the Baron. So it was all so preposterous that it didn't matter how it ended. We went out with a laugh.
I love you.
Yeah.
Doug, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Love.
Thank you.